Coming into a pasture here. Everything has been blooming the last few days pretty quickly. Leaves are starting to get the trees are starting to get their leaves and their colors. If you look at this mountain over here, it's really cool. At the bottom, you know, they're all blooming. Up at the top, they're not blooming yet. It just kind of works its way up the mountain over time, over the next few days or week or so. It's just really beautiful though, because you get to see all those different colors of the trees and the greens and the shades of green. Oh, it's absolutely gorgeous. This has all just happened pretty much in the last 3 or 4 days, coming out of nowhere. Oh yeah, beautiful views here. Absolutely beautiful. Look at the beauty, the purples, the greens, the dark tree bark, the light tree bark, the white up above. Even though it's a cloudy day, it is looking beautiful. Spring is blooming and it is alive and getting more beautiful day by day. Coming into the Shenandoah. That will probably make that pop just at the right time, and I don't know. I don't even know what to expect of that. This is the beauty even down here on the ground. The purples and whites down there, the little leaves. It's a gorgeous sight. Beautiful morning, very cool. Started off about 35 or so. I think it's probably in the 40s now. Only getting to the mid 50s, but every day for the next 5 or 6 days is just going to incrementally get warmer. Till it's back up in the 80s again, and pretty much sunny every day as of right now, what the weather's calling for. All right, so just to explain a little bit about the couple of days I had to take off for rest. Sure didn't want to. You know, I just about a week ago took off 4 zeros to be with my fiance, which I absolutely loved and adored and wish I could take more off. I mean, I adore her and love her, but I was talking about the days there. I loved that time with her, being able to do that. It was just paradise. And, you know, then went back to trail, and my knees were suffering a little bit for the first couple days, but there on that 3rd, 4th day, whatever it was, and I was just having some really bad vertigo and really weird feelings. I'll push through pain all the time. That doesn't bother me. Obviously, walked on a fractured back last year for the majority of the PCT. And, you know, suffering with other pains pretty much all the time. But dizziness and vertigo is something you don't want to mess around with, especially when you're climbing cliffs and ledges and such. So that's why I turned around for McAfee Knob once I summited and went back down to that particular trailhead or road, and met up with a shuttle driver who took me to a hostel. I didn't know what I was going to do. I knew I was going to take the rest of that day off and rest and get some calories in and kind of figure things out. And then that turned into another day, and then after that it was really raining hard, and I didn't know, should I take one more day because I'm still feeling a little weird. And the rain kind of made that decision for me because it just rained all day long. So and then that's kind of what brought the cold front in that made the temperature drop about 30 or 40 degrees. So ended up taking the 2 zeros, which I really needed. So I won't go too much into my health, but you know, I've had a lot of gut issues, a lot of surgeries on the gut, just ongoing problems. You know, those who know my history know my history. I'm not going to go into that, but I do have ongoing flares that happen because of it. And usually I know them right away because, you know, I get severe cramps and, you know, kind of puts me down for a bit, a day or so. And this wasn't like that. It was just vertigo and feeling uneasy and just not like I had any control of myself, body-wise. So, that's why I went down. But after the first night into the second day, you know, the first 0 is when I really started kind of piecing together what was going on. And, you know, it was just one of those flares, and I really noticed it with all the cramping and pain and everything that was happening that next day, because that always sets my body off in weird feelings and vertigo, and just like my head is kind of floating and just all kinds of weird stuff there. So that's what was going on. I'm much better now. That flare has ended, and I should be good for a while. They don't come very often, but when they do, it's good for me not to push through. Nothing worse than passing out or fainting or something like that up on a cliff, or worse yet, falling off or really hurting myself. So I'm happy with my decision, even though I can't stand sitting. You know that. The only good thing about sitting right now is I get to eat more, but besides that, it's tough for me to do. But the decision I made, because, you know, I came really close to Dragon's Tooth, and then because of that hostel, you know, a few days ago, if you've seen the videos, if not, go back and watch it, and it explains everything. But I moved ahead to a hostel that night because I needed to charge my phones and everything, and get a little bit of resupply. And so I went to the only hostel that was there. It was literally 2 miles past Dragon's Tooth. So I ended up skipping ahead of Dragon's Tooth. And I made the executive decision, because of the storms that were coming through that I ended up having zeros for, and the original decision was to try to do the Triple Crown there all in one day. And then when I got ahead of Dragon's Tooth, I'm like, you know, now I'm going to just skip past Dragon's Tooth and go forward and do the Tinker Cliffs with McAfee, and get down to town as soon as I can to beat those storms out. Well, then the vertigo happened. I got about 16 or 17 miles in that day. Still need to do the Tinker Cliffs, though. I'm wanting to keep moving. I do not want to go backwards. That is against what I'm out here for early. Keep moving forward, don't go backwards. So I ended up missing, you know, about 12, 14 miles, somewhere like that I had to kind of skip around because of the health thing that happened. So the decision is I'm going to keep going forward from where I was, which is Daleville, and that two things could happen. And, you know, I probably have all kinds of people judging me, especially the purist right now. But that doesn't concern me, because at the end of the day, I answer to myself. I don't answer to anybody else. I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this to raise awareness for osteoporosis. And at the end of the day, I'm going to have well over 2,200 miles on the Appalachian Trail. The Appalachian Trail, if you don't know, gets rerouted each year. There's little changes here and there. Adds 5, takes away 5, adds 10. So at the end of the day, the trail changes all the time. Me taking a couple here that, you know, is not logistically smart to go back and get a shuttle, and financially smart, and then going ahead, and it doesn't matter to me, because at the end of the day, I do 2 or 3 side trails every day, climbing summits, climbing waterfalls. You who have followed me know this. I'm going to be well over 2,200 by the end of this, and that's all right with me, because I am still through hiking the Appalachian Trail, just doing it a little differently. And I know the purists that think you have to touch every inch, that's fine for them. It's not fine for me. It's not the way I think. I am out here hiking the Appalachian Trail my way, so to speak, and taking you along for the ride. But anyway, it just didn't make sense to me to be where I was, you know, healing up, you know, internally, and then going backwards to do the 12 or 13 miles, and then coming back again, or having to get a shuttle, or spending more money with it, you know, just isn't a smart way to spend the money. Instead of just going on and staying ahead of the bubble. I'm already going to go back someday and do Dragon's Tooth. I'm going to go back and do Tinker Cliffs now too, because I really wanted to see those views. They're really beautiful, and they're part of it. And so eventually, probably at the end of the hike or some other time, I will go and take care of the Triple Crown. I will do the Dragon's Tooth, McAfee Knob, and Tinker Cliffs all in one day, like what the original plan was here. But for now, I'm pressing on forward. Like I said, those miles that I have banked, in case you're wanting to know, I'm 50 ahead right now. I totaled it up during my 0 days with the apps I have and the different trails I've done. I am 50 ahead. So I'm at 790 right now, but I'm at mile 730. So it's actually a little more than 50, but I'm just rounding to 50. But yeah, it's I'm definitely done a lot more than what my mile marker is, just because of side trails and such. And I'm not saying any of this to justify it. I don't answer to anybody, obviously, only myself. And I'm just letting you all know what my decisions are and why I'm here at this spot, and you know, what happened on that day that you know, got the vertigo. So that's the plan right now. Just going to keep on going, well over the 730 that I'm at a mile marker. And you know, I eventually will do that Triple Crown. It will not be part of the Appalachian Trail at that point. It will just be its own thing, something else to conquer. So hopefully that explains everything, where everybody understands what I'm doing and why I am where I am, and put everybody's mind at ease as far as I'm feeling good now. I just you know, had a little flare up there from previous health situations that go on in my body. But it's a beautiful day today, very spring-like. That mid-50s feels just like spring. Has a little bit of smell of spring in the air. A little overcast, but I believe it's going to be sunny here after today every day. No chance of rain for like the next 5 days. So it could be great hiking weather. Getting a little warmer every day. Glad you all come along for the ride. And time to start cranking out these miles and conquering some summits. Let's do it. I do want to make clear, in case I didn't, when I'm rambling, sometimes I forget to go back to certain points. I really, really want to do Dragon's Tooth, and I really, really want to do Tinker Cliffs. I just wasn't smart to go back and do them at this point, and my health was more important at that point to get off the trail and take care of what was going on. I definitely want to do those. I just, right now, it's smarter for me to go forward, not logistically or financially smart to go back in a shuttle and do those at this point, when I could come back at some point and do the whole thing, which is what I really want to do anyway, because I'm all about conquering things. And I summited McAfee, and the other two really aren't summits, but they're all part of the thing here in the state of Virginia with the Triple Crown. And I really want to do them all at one time, which, you know, I wasn't able to do because of the way I had to do it with the health and so forth. So hopefully that makes sense to everybody, and you'll definitely see it on video when I do it. Who knows when I'll do it. I might just come back in a week, and something might happen where it's easier to come back at that point, or it might be at the end of the hike, or it might be next year. Who knows? But it will get done. But the Appalachian Trail is going to get done this year, as long as I can help it, as long as God's willing and doesn't let anything happen. And well over those 2,200 miles. All right. Thanks for listening to me ramble on like I always do. So far, it's one of those days it's really hard to adjust your clothing. It's was about 35 when I left. Probably got up to 40. Then the higher I got, the cooler it got. It's been overcast the whole time. It's supposed to be up to like 50, not low 50s at the most. Obviously, the higher up, the lower the temp. So I've had the 2 layers on, my t-shirt and base layer, and then I had the fleece hoodie on. I don't know why I call it fleece. I don't know that it's fleece, but it's a warmer type of hoodie that wicks moisture. I've had that on. Then I had my gloves on. My feet have been cold. My toes, in other words, have been cold. And I can't figure out why. The sensation is hard to, figure out, because it almost feels like it's wet, but it hasn't been wet because I haven't been through anything wet. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. But then it starts warming up, or my toes do. Then my fingers warm up. I take my gloves off. Then I take the hoodie off. And then it starts feeling a little chilly, but then the sun comes out. And then it feels warm, like it's getting warmer than 50 degrees. And just back and forth. And then a little breeze will kick in once in a while, real mild, like maybe 5-10 miles an hour. But it's like a cooler breeze. So can't figure out what to wear today. Obviously going to keep adjusting, because you don't want to sweat in your clothes on a cold night, and it's supposed to get down low 30s tonight. So it's going to be a bit chilly as it's going back through the warm up again over the next few days. But tonight's going to be a little chilly, so I don't want to be all wet and sweaty going to sleep tonight. So fun times. The trail is real nice today. There's a few rocks, nothing like big rocks scrambling, anything like that. Just, a little tiny type of rock with some leaves, some needles from the trees. As you can see, you got pines or spruce or whatever type that is up there. So that always adds extra cushioning on the trail. It's not all been like this today, but a good portion of it today has been. So I think it's about 8 miles in today so far. Right around noon. Got a late start after having breakfast and packing up. I think it was about 9 o'clock when I hit the trail. So about 8 miles in 3 hours or so. So far so good. Nothing big on the views front, or no summits to climb yet, but there's quite a few coming up in the next couple of days, so I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to the rest of the day too, to see what kind of views we could get today and what the trail's going to give us. You could definitely see these greens coming in on the trees, descended a little bit, so these trees are definitely more budding than the ones up at top of the ridge lines and hills. It's looking really beautiful. All these green plants, the green on the trees, you can see there, everything's just starting to bud. I don't know if it shows up real well since it's overcast, but I could definitely see it. They say humans see more shades of green than they could see any other color because of our natural predator instinct. So we can actually see more shades of green, which is a really cool fact that I don't know too many facts about science, but I thought that was pretty cool that I've known for many a decade. But it looks really cool. I believe it. I'm seeing, wow, at least 50 different shades of it out here right now. And, it hasn't totally blossomed, these trees yet, but you could just see the different weeds and plants and leaves coming in on different kinds of trees and different elevations. It's different cycles, I guess, as far as how big they are, how long they've been blooming. But this has all been in the last few days, so it's blooming quick. It's going to get real pretty real quick. It's going to be the green tunnel really quick. It's a different kind of gorgeous now. All these greens. This has been the shortest full day that I've done on the Appalachian Trail since the beginning, and that's okay. I'm right at 11 miles, about 2,700 of elevation, and I came to a shelter planning on going to the next one, and I decided I'm stopping. Why the heck not? It's 3:30 in the afternoon, way too early to stop. The rules say I should keep going. The law says, man-made law of what I should do. A lot of that law we put on ourselves too. But I'm not. I'm stopping right now. My shoulders real stiff today, and my legs are stiff. And this is still ongoing, from what just happened for the last couple days. My body hasn't back to 100% yet. So I was planning on doing, 18 or 20 today. That's still a short day. But I decided, why? Why push through another 7 miles when I can just stop here, get some really nice dinner in me tonight, relax, do a lot of stretching, get those legs ready to go, and then pound it early tomorrow. Starting the Blue Ridge Parkway tomorrow, so there's going to be some really epic views. Just be sunnier. It just seemed like the thing to do right now, so I'm doing it. Going to look at the nice green trees and blooms coming through, and the way everything's starting to look very pretty, and just relax and eat dinner, and focus on getting some rest tonight, getting my body rested up to get back to 100%, so I can just pound it out starting tomorrow. Once again, it stinks when you have to kind of have a little bit of downtime because of the body, but you got to listen when it happens, especially when it's something to do with, an ongoing issue that, flares up every once in a while, and don't need to be getting weak or losing strength and, causing long-term damage to your thru-hike, my thru-hike. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, and calling it a night and getting some dinner. I will see you all in the morning. Live life.